everybody. Thanks, Tapiso. Well spoken. Thank you. I'm really lost for words to appreciate the speakers here. I mean, the Premier has always supported me, humbled me. When he was Minister of Education, as he told you, everything he said was true and has always supported me. I know it's Saturday also, Premier. And really, for you to be here, I'm humbled, really humbled. Also want to speak to my friend. The Premier says my former player. Now I always say, sometimes I'm just surprised he says the things that we used to say before he was a Premier. And that's how life is, you know. You always have to treat people proper because you never know who these people can be in future. And MEC Chilwani, you have filled in the biggest boots. But I know who you are, and I know what you're capable of. And you remind me when I came to Al Ahly Football Club, and when I came to Al Ahly Football Club, everybody says it's the biggest team in the continent. Do you really have the good size of your feet to fit the shoes? And I looked at the massive club, 70 million people supporting it. I look at the trophy cabinet, they take me around to the trophy cabinet of Al Ahly, and everything has been won. So I say, why am I here? Because these guys have won everything. And that's like for you now to say, Premier has done so much for the education, but if you look at the history that we have done in Al Ahly, then you know that there's still more to do, you know. So we found Al Ahly, Egypt, having won things, but the funny part of it is we gave them records that they have never done. So we broke records. There was an interview 2 days back. They won the Champions League, and they were interviewing the technical director of Al Ahly, and they sent me all the clips, and they asked the TV channel, they asked the guy, that says, Coach Marcel Koller, Swiss guy, a veteran also in football coaching, in that space in the Arab League, is not what you have won, is what's your CV. You can't be in that space. So anyway, and the technical director of Al Ahly says, the coach has just arrived, he won the Champions League, but I can't compare him to the guy who took us to the 3 Champions League finals, won two Super Cups, 2 bronze medals in the World Cup, 2 local cups in 2 seasons. He says nobody can measure the record in 2 seasons in the whole history of Al Ahly since 1904. So that means that you can do it also. Walter Steenbok, we come far from with him. When we won the CAF Champions League at Sundowns, Walter was my analyst. He's the one who used to give me the strength and the weaknesses of Zamalek, Al Ahly, the Wydad, all these big teams that they're still conquering the Africa. Africa is conquered by North Africans. Listen to me, don't make me. So look at the history, how many trophies they've won. It's dominated by the North Africa. And Walter was saying to me, Coach, there's nothing in the world, in the North Africa. We can do it. We can put a footprint in that space. And we made it. And the trophy is there at Mamelodi Sundowns. And thanks to you, Walter. Yeah, they say I must really thank everybody that's here, but I think there's somebody who's going to thank also. It's Tabiso, I think. Am I right? But just to acknowledge what the Premier says, of course, the province of the champions, we all know that, and he has proved to it that tonight he is hosting Morocco against Bafana Bafana. And you know, me with Morocco, the coach is my friend. I know everything about Morocco. Exciting to watch, and I know how Morocco came the powerhouse as it is now. And I told you before all this thing happened, and probably you're saying, what is he talking about? But because I knew, because I got my CAF Pro license in Morocco with all those coaches, including the head coach of Morocco, who did exceptionally well in the World Cup. So I know the secrets of what Morocco is doing and what they can do. So I can share the classified information with my country so that we can do better, you know. You must never underestimate South Africans. We have a lot, we know a lot, and we've got classified information, and we can really change this country. Sometimes we don't work together, sometimes we don't talk to each other. You know, I don't know, maybe sometimes it's ego and all those things, but you know, they always say that don't let your ego be to block your success, because ego can really block your success. You can be as good as whatever, but when you have ego that you can't even listen and people can never even engage you or talk to you, you lose out. But yeah, we now know the classified information of the Gulf. Now we're in the Gulf, and so South Africa has a lot, and sometimes I wish I could share, you know, and talk and tell. But sometimes it's like, you get a bit there, you know, you think, but I've been in that space and I know why North Africans are conquering Africa. And the minute I knew the secret, I went to conquer the North Africans, and it's a fact. So, there are very important people that I need to really thank here, that are part of the program, the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools. The education, of course, MEC Matome, thanks for allowing us and taking the baton of Premier, of allowing us to be in the schools, because to enter the schools is a sacred place. It's not a place just anybody can just walk in and do anything you want. That's the future of the country. And you allowed us to come in after we shared the vision, and you're giving us a chance to be in your schools. You've given us the facilities, and you know, as I was telling you, I said you have to put your skin on the game. I've always wanted the PMSS, and it's not about talking about it, it's about doing it. And I knew before we launched, you should have done things. I mean, you can see the whole bunch of coaches there at the back, all qualified, all D licensed, CAF SAFA licensed, and we have Wamaka here, which is a program that is helping us with the safety of the children, because it's important when you are in the schools, the safety of the children are important. We are all parents, and you want, when your child is at school, you need the safety of that, and Wamaka is here to look after the children, to make sure that the coaches are all accredited and they follow all the safety principles, and they will be here if you want to know what Wamaka is doing with us. They are always here to support us, and we also make sure that we have coaches with police clearance, because I've got children also. I need my children to be safe when they're with the coaches, and we've got girls there. So all that, those things are important, and Wamaka is monitoring our programs and teaching our coaches, and also making sure that safety in coaching is also important. It's not all about the qualifications that we get from CAF and SAFA, from all Steenbok, but all the things are in order. Yes, I would like to thank also Kuro. My man is here. We had a lot of talks. Pitso Schools. They are the ones who gave us an opportunity to put our footprint, and thanks to you, because without you, we would not be here. They allowed us to come into the program and put PMSs in and the feedback we got from Pitso Schools after we've been there is amazing. It's really amazing. He's here also. He can talk to you if you want to know the impact or the relationship between Pitso Schools and PMSS. And PMSS is not only about Pitso Schools. PMSS should be in the townships. PMSS should be in rural areas, but one step at a time, because if you bite more than you can chew, can be a problem. So we need to take this step by step. And after what the MEC was spoken to you about the school in the Val, I mean, I don't even know what to say to him. I'm just shocked, you know. And if we've been given an opportunity to be in that school, I think that should be motivating the coaches here. Coach Ogi, who is also a SAFA coaching instructor, he's also an instructor to the coaches over here, because our coaches get education from SAFA, but they also come into my own program, where it's directed by Augustine Makalagane, because we don't want generic coaching. We are soccer-specific coaching and age-related training program. Just like in education, you can't take a child who is in grade 1 and then you give him a syllabus of grade 4, and then you're going to start saying that the child is not very good. So that is the imbalances we have in our country. We don't do that, and we say, oh, but they're not good, and that's why at Bafana, I've been with Benny McCarthy as my player, Stephen Pinar, Tulane Serrero. I mean, I'm talking about the guys who have Bradley Cannon and all that. And I've always wanted to know, but why we are not better than these other teams? Why Croatia, with 4 million people, can reach the final of the World Cup? 4 million people. Why Holland is about 6 or 5 also? Holland, that produced so many players from Ajax to every. What's the secret? Where's the recipe? And the recipe is the development of a player. So if you have seen children training in football, playing, you see 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds playing on the 11v11 on a full pitch. How long is he gonna get to the other side? With the small legs like this, you know? So we don't do those things. That's why you can see on the videos what we do. We do age-appropriate training. You can't give the syllabus of grade 4 to a grade 1 child. And then we start saying, but why we don't have good players? It's because we jump stages. But when it comes to education, we follow. But when it comes to football, that's not what we follow. And everybody talks about, why is South African football not good? We can run programs on TV, on radio, we can write everything and criticize, oh, we have facilities, we have this and that. Why we don't make it? Why is Cameroon better than us when it's not a well-developed country like South Africa? Because you don't understand what is happening. And I've traveled the whole continent. I've traveled Europe. I've played football in Europe. I've been in the World Cup 3 times. I've seen everything from Asia to Africa to just call it. I know what's happening in South America. I mean, I've played against the champions of South America. We've beaten them. Played against the champions of Asia. We've beaten them. Played against the champions of CONCACAF. We've beaten them. And I was the coach. So why can't we do it with the national team? Why? We can do it. It's just that Walter was saying that he is there to put the programs right. And we have the right programs. And if rugby can do it and cricket can do it, we can do it. Trust me, we have talent in everything. Everything. Don't undermine the South African. I mean, you can see that the Black Coffees, they're conquering the world in music. You can see Trevor Noah. South Africans are top talented people. So just believe in South Africans, but we need to do the right thing. So we have age-appropriate, soccer-related training program where if you have your 6-year-old, he will train like a 6-year-old. If you have a 10-year-old, he will train like a 10-year-old. And how did I discover that? What did I do? I've used my resources. I've used my links. I've sat with Arsene Wenger, who is the head of FIFA Development Football Program. I discuss programs before I do my PMSs. I don't do PMSs, and then somebody comes from Europe and he says, let me go see what they're doing. He says, is that what they're doing? No, I do what they're doing, and even we will do it better. So we need to know, why is Ajax Amsterdam producing players? Is it the size of the body? No. Look at Tulani Serrero, look at Pina. But why were they successful? Why they play Champions League? Why were they successful? So we can do the same here also in South Africa. So BMSS is here to do that, and the most important thing is to give every child an opportunity to play. We are not training or coaching top talented players. Some players are latecomers in football, even at school. Some children didn't start well, but they end well. They finish very strong in school and become different entrepreneurs in future. But when you look at it, it says, but in grade 1, grade 2, we were not seeing the future of this child. But as we say in football, don't focus on the process, on the outcome. Focus on the process, and the outcome will sort itself out. It's you who love last, love the best. So that's the same situation that we are doing. So I don't know if I forgot to thank anybody here, but just to close it, PMSS slogan is to create a player of tomorrow. What is a player of tomorrow? It's a player who is academically balanced and education. And you make sure that that person is being trained properly with the proper tactics, techniques, and everything. And when he's academically balanced, he will easily absorb what is expected on the pitch. And what does football do to this academically balanced child? Is to say to this child, you must learn, as the NEC was saying, you learn to lose, sometimes you win. You must accept defeat, which is not easy, and me with defeats, I don't accept them easily. But I bounce back stronger after that. So it teaches your child character, motivation, and understanding failure, and also embracing success also. So those are the life lessons and principles that the ethos that Walter was speaking about. So football is not about a talented child. It takes more than talent to be a top sports person. So that's what we are doing at PMSS. And it will take time. We are patient, and we can't be everywhere, but the vision and the future is to go in our townships, in the rural places. And when we say, what the J Smarts, what would you say the name? General Smarts. So General Smarts, he says you change the name. Okay, the school will support also the sports school of excellence that we have. Let's have more of that, because there's more children, guys. The cake is too big. Let's bring the children, and maybe we're talking about that with the NEC Children. That will be maybe the next school that will give Banyana and Bafana players. And thanks to that. Thanks to you.
Thank you very much there, Coach. I support the motion of changing the name. I had a quick look at General Smarts. It's also on Van Riebeck Street. So I think the street name also needs to change. And this is perfect. You've got the perfect mania to change the image and the profile of the school, General Smarts there. But thank you, Coach, for those wise words. I think you've said a lot. And also, there is a website of PMSS, Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools.co.za. So you can also go on the website, also on social media, PMSS. And those who are using social media this afternoon, we can also use the hashtag PMSS just to get the message across. I see some of the members of the media are tweeting also. So please tag Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools so we can just spread it out there. We are going to move on now to the kit reveal. I hope that's not the kit because it's supposed to be a secret. The kit, it's a kit reveal, but we've seen the coaches. They're looking wonderful, dressed very nicely there. And we thank you once again to Rufus Moafe for their assistance. Banarang Office Supplies also working with the coaches. But we want to find out what the kit looks like of the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools. And there was a wonderful initiative actually that we saw on social media, which was Dress the Player of Tomorrow. I think that was the hashtag, if I remember correctly, Dress the Player of Tomorrow. And it was open to the public to try and come up with the design. And the design, or the designer that won, I don't know if the designer is here, but Michelle will tell us more about that. The designer that won was Matume. The other Matume, definitely not this Matume. The other Matume, I know you're multi-talented, MEC, but there was another Matume that actually won the design of designing the kit of the Pitso Mosimane Soccer School. So I'm going to ask Michelle just to come over. Michelle is from the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools, also MT Sports Manager of Sports Development Project. And she will just tell us more about reveal the kit. Obviously, we've got a few gifts to hand over also to our guests here that are here with us, but let's see what the kit looks like firstly, Michelle.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Program Director. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, all protocol observed. Thank you, MC. As we formally launch the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools, it is my privilege and honor to present to you yet another new and exciting addition to the Pitso Mosimane stable. It grows in leaps and bounds, it never stops. I'm talking at this point about Pitso Mosimane Sportswear, which carries our PM Active. PM Active is our very own unique brand of locally produced quality sportswear. I know, Premier, I believe you are a huge supporter of local as lekker. So here we are providing our own to our own. Presently, we have the players' kit, which you see on our small mannequin, and also the coaches' apparel, also modeled by our bigger mannequin. And just to say a bit about background that Thabiso referred to about the competition that was open to the public. We called upon everybody because we feel that it is important to take all our supporters along with us, make them feel part of this process. And this has been the beautiful result of that process. And as you said, Thabiso, our winner was Matumo Ra Siala, who unfortunately was unable to be with us today as a result of family commitments. I can tell you that the children are absolutely in love with this kit. The vibrancy, the design, the uniqueness. So it has been a huge hit, and also with our coaches. We will be adding more to our catalog, so please keep your eyes peeled. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, all this is powered by MT Sports, the legacy makers. Thank you very much.